and Jonesy know what it's all about. From burnouts and doubts to boundaries that stick. We're right here with you through thick and thick. Do what you want because you're grown. You don't need to hustle all on your own. With that voice in your ear when it all goes whack. Take a deep breath, we got your back.
No, take 3.
Let's jump into another riveting episode of Minding Our Business. Our guest today is Andrew. I'm going to let him introduce himself, kind of what you do, and you're kind of a little bit about your story.
Cool. So, I'm Andrew. I was born and raised in Bristol, Pennsylvania. I was always like a curious kid growing up, and I've always found ways to like just ask questions and just be this person just like always trying to like figure things out. So my mom and dad, they kind of like was like I'm kind of like tired today, but my mom and dad were they came from Egypt, and I'm like first generation American, so they had high expectations of me.
Is that cultural?
I would say cultural, and it's kind of just like more fear-based too, kind of like we don't want you to have this, this hardship that we had to go through, and therefore we want to like make sure you're on the right path. So of course, then it was kind of like, go to school, get a good job, and from there you'll have made it. So from there, I've always just kept working, kept getting good grades, and I just felt like, hey, I wanted to do this. I remember telling my dad I wanted to be an artist, and he was like, Habibi, that's not good. There's no money in that. Yeah. That's all he said. He said, there's no money in that. He said, and he told me something that was very, like, I'll never forget. He told me, like, Andrew, without money, you're nothing. So having that being told to me at a very young age, I was like 10 or 12. I was like, all right, great. I need to have money. So I started working when I was like 12 years old, shoveling driveways and doing all landscaping work. Then I literally, when I went to 15, I begged for like this job at Taco Bell. I was like, please hire me. And I was like 15, like, dude, kid, you're a minor. I just kept showing up. Like, all right, fine, we'll hire you. And they like had all these labor laws in place. And I could only work a certain amount of hours.
So 7 p.m. or whatever.
Yeah, it was crazy. But I was doing that, and I just kept working many different jobs. And, I went, after high school, I was always this like shy person. And I'm still am to this day, but not as much as like then.
Yeah.
But after high school, I said, all right, I want to do my own thing. I want to be an entrepreneur. So the first thing I did, I wanted to build a clothing brand, and I just like wanted to be this persona, but I was pursuing it for the wrong things. I was trying to like be this person. I was just trying to be famous, and like thinking that like the amount of likes and the amount of money I have is just all gonna correlate to me, and just like that's like love in a sense. But I slowly learned like that's not really the case, and it's really, I mean, fast forward now, I mean, after that just literally blowing up, and I was just hustling at that and just quitting. I was just like, hey, this isn't right. And somebody actually told me, he's like, why are you starting this? I told him, I want to be famous. And so why do you want to be famous? And he said, and I told him, I want to help people. And he's like, you don't have to be famous to help people. And he was really trying to change my perspective of like why you're doing things. And like, and when you're doing it for like money, you're doing it for fame and all that stuff, that's fine. You could do that, but that's not gonna drive you to keep doing it. You're probably gonna get burnt out, and most of the times you're gonna quit.
All right, so it sounds like you're saying you got to have a goal in mind that has more to do with just being famous and just being known.
Yeah.
Because in marketing, that's what we call the participation prize, is likes, engagement, follows. That's the participation prize of marketing. Because without conversions or a goal or, let's face it, revenue, it doesn't work. It's meaningless.
Yeah. Yeah, and then, of course, being able to fulfill it consistently and having that, drive to keep doing it. It also has to come down to like emotion. Like you have to, and I'm not talking about feelings. You can't be like, I feel good today, I'm gonna go train. Like there has to be an emotion like attached to it of like why you're doing something. So and it could be a good thing, it could be a bad thing. And with me, like I was always driven to like find a way to like make more money, because as my dad would say, like, if you don't have money, you're nothing.
So what are your feelings about that phrase now?
So I met somebody, you know, and he was like, he like, this is the person he made it, but he told me, he's like, listen, like, this all comes down to, like, you know, understanding God and just like aligning with God and your purpose. So I say now, without value, you're nothing. So, and value, I mean, a lot of things that I was doing early on is like, I would watch all these YouTube videos and I would read all these books, and I was just consuming. Kind of like, think of it like a chef that would be like, hey, try this food. Like, wow, this is good. Like, hey, let me show you how to do it. And then you're like, great. And then you don't ever learn how to cook for other people.
Yeah.
You know, and you take that all in, you consume it all, and you're just like, you're either crippled by fear or you're information overload and you just don't want to do anything.
And then refusing to take action.
Exactly.
No, all planning, no execution.
Exactly.
We have a phrase for that.
Yeah.
What is it?
Procrastination.
Well, there's that, but what the embodiment of that is. We were talking about it the other day.
A wantrepreneur.
A wantrepreneur.
You're a wantrepreneur.
Yeah, we know quite a few of them.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think we even got into like one. I know you said you went to college, like what your education is and what you actually do now.
Right.
Hey, let him cook, Jess.
Yeah.
Let him tell
What?
his own story.
Well, it's gonna be better for us to tie in what he's saying once we know what your business is and what you do.
Yeah, so that's perfect. Yeah, lead into to what you're doing now as of last week, me having insider knowledge of this.
Like,
Right.
Yeah.
So right now I'm a real estate consultant. So I own and operate AI real estate consulting. So what I do is I help tired landlords find different options for them to either sell their home or sell their properties in just a streamlined way, or give them other options to do other things with their money, as they were told, like, on social media, like, oh, this is, you know, buying real estate is great, it's easy, but they don't know anything about fixing anything, maintaining that, finding people to maintenance that, and, you know, taking care of it, dealing with tenants, dealing with, you know, property management, dealing with, you know, collecting rent, what to do when things go south.
I just thought of something. We're gonna add a quiz onto your new website, which is being a landlord for you. It's a quiz I wish I had 2 years ago when I bought my first rental property.
Right.
That answer is a hard no. There's plenty of investment modalities or ways to structure it where you are totally hands-off. At less of a profit, of course.
Yeah.
But I was more hands-on as the point of contact and hate it. Hate it. Versus some people we know get off on that. They love it. They love it. So, and that's where you come in to, you know, you're helping an investor, you're getting a property yourself, win-win-win.
Right. So that's kind of like how I do it, and I actually enjoy doing that because there's so many times I'm talking to somebody and they got into something that they don't want, or they were told, like, you should want. So I think right now, you know, this whole perception, like, at least what I see is just like, oh, like, you got to invest in this, you got to invest in and get passive income. Every time I hear passive income, I'm like, yeah, like, that's...
I love passive income.
It's, I mean, but it's always, there's never true passive income unless, like, you're unemployed and you just sit at home.
Yeah.
That's passive income.
Or it's low returns.
Yeah, exactly. Or if it's like you're at the, you know, you have to have so much involvement at first, like, creating that.
Yeah.
You know, and most people don't see that. They kind of see, like, the whole glamorized, like, oh my gosh, like, that's great, but they never get to the point where they can relate to someone that are starting out.
Yeah.
I do want to differentiate. It's not necessarily hard or difficult. It's consistency and front loaded.
Right.
It's definitely front loaded. You're going to have to put in the work on the front ends. But I'm pretty anti-hustle culture. Like, I like high output with, I don't want to say minimum input, but with optimal input. That's my philosophy. You know, just to kind of piggyback off all that.
Gotcha. Right. So, what else?
What's your... Wait, you said you went to college, right?
Well, here's the thing.
Or did you not get a degree, or...
So I went to school because really, like, my dad wanted me to.
Yeah.
Because...
You were going to be an artist.
Right. I was going to be an artist. But I didn't want to do that. So I said, let me get the best of both worlds. I will try to go to school, and I will try to learn this small business management entrepreneurship. That's what I majored in. I dropped out after one semester.
Gotcha.
Not because it wasn't a good course, because the teachers that I spoke to that were teaching this never started a business. So I said,
That's how it
why would
normally
I?
works.
Yeah. How can you learn from someone, you know, like that. You need to have someone that does it, that wants to be where you're at. So that's why I left, and I've done my own thing ever since.
So have you ever worked in like corporate or anything like that?
Of course. So again, like there's so many periods of times where I would lose focus of like what I want to do to pursue what everyone else wanted for me. Like, oh, you should be doing this because it's high returns, or you're gonna make money, you're gonna be famous, you're gonna be you're gonna be this ideal. And I ended up like going for that, and it failed. I never tested it. I never had a passion for it. It was like these short term, like you ever like the rabbit and the
tortoise,
tortoise and the hare. So I was always the rabbit. I'd start something, I'd get into the shiny object syndrome, and then just I can't do it anymore. So from there, I just keep going back to jobs that kept draining me, and then I'm like, all right, I got to go back to this. But it's what I've learned now is that I don't advise anyone to just quit their job. I really don't. I think if I think the first thing you should do is like just test it part-time.
Yes.
There has to be an actual need for what you're doing. There's so many times people want to do something, and I've been guilty of this too. Like, oh, I like doing this, it's my passion, but it doesn't serve anyone else. Like business is not about you, it's about who you're serving. So you need to understand like either what you've went through and you've tried to solve it yourself and it worked, and now you're doing it for other people. That will turn into a business. But I think starting part-time is ideal because you're testing it out. It's like you're saying, all right, I'm gonna go plant this tree, and by tomorrow it's gonna have apples. Like you have to put certain amounts of time into it, and then soon enough it'll become a tree. I just thought of a quote that said, if you're small enough, long enough, you'll be big enough soon enough.
Huh.
Which is just another word for consistency.
Consistency, right.
Yes.
Consistency, right.
I agree 1,000% about the not burning the boats methodology of quitting your job and starting your own business. And I was literally a host of a show called Fire Your Boss, but with that same philosophy, which is start today, start now, start small, validate, fail fast, validate again. And that that's true for entrepreneurship and for marketing is that validation. You have to have something that people want. The market doesn't care about your feelings, which is the name of my book that's going to be released in early 2026.
Oh, you're writing a book?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, dang.
I love it. Wow, I just derailed that. So,
yeah.
But let's talk about struggles during all this. So, we always have to balance the successful stories with what got you there, and it obviously wasn't all sunshine and rainbows. And the states of mind that it puts you in, and then how you get through that, whether yourself or with the help of others.
That's a good question. I mean, my goodness. Wow.
Well, let's talk about what maybe you you said you'd watch a bunch of YouTube videos about buying properties. So maybe you bought a property at one point, an investment property.
Yeah.
Which you're doing again now, but you strayed away from it for a while.
Right.
Why?
Well, a lot of that had to do with like just I guess finding purpose and just trying to align myself to like what was something that I'm good at, and what's something who can I help as a result of that. And I've a lot of times it was just really just the self-doubt of just being like, oh, this isn't for me, or oh, there isn't this result, or there isn't this like the amount of money I'm getting, therefore it's not working. So I got to go and do my own thing and just go back to work.
Was that something that was taught to you, or that you picked up along the way, or learned from something or someone?
Honestly, I think that's just the people I've associated with, like with family and with even friends at the time. They weren't entrepreneurs. So if I had to go back, I would definitely get in the room with people that are entrepreneurs. Yeah. So you can share your story, like, hey, this is what I'm going through. What do you think? And just understanding that, hey, this person was at, like in my shoes at one point in my life, and now they are like, they're there because they kept sticking at it. Or, just having that belief that you can actually like, you can do it, and it's really important to find people that are like that are where you want to be, and not just learning from people that say you can do it, but they don't do it themselves.
And it's so hard. I feel like that's so hard to want to even approach that person that's already done it, because then you feel that like imposter syndrome. And so I feel like I've never really had like a mentor in like the business, but I also think it's my lack of like wanting to,
I think so,
to be like an imposter.
Most entrepreneurs are going to want to talk about it. That's a commonality I found. And, that's with my own circle and people, but everybody wants to talk about that. So,
most people that have businesses and have success are the most generous people willing to give out the information.
Well, that's usually why they're successful. It's because they're not, keeping it under lock and key.
Yeah.
I operate like open source. That's how I operate my agencies. I'll tell you exactly what we're doing. I'll even show you how to do it. Because, I compare it to like an accountant or somebody who's changing my oil. I know how to change my own oil. Doesn't mean I'm doing it for you. So therefore, I need to hire somebody like mechanic, mobile.
Yeah. Well,
he's a multipreneur. He helped his brother start another business too.
So are you doing the real estate consulting full time right now?
Yeah, I am doing it full time.
So
right now.
Did you just make this transition to full time?
Yeah,
or?
I've made that Well, I mean, I've been in real estate. I've had my real estate license for the past 5 years.
Okay.
And I've been doing that part time, and I've been testing it. I would go and I like cold call people.
So you've been doing the real estate sales, or you've been doing like focusing just on investors?
This is mainly just for sales.
Okay.
And then I transitioned to do more investors once I see like the more, like the thing with real estate sales, it's usually a one and done deal, but you can turn that into like a more like a referral based and, a continuing, sale with that person. Cause I mean, most of the times, like I remember there was this one agent that they sold it like a house to us, and then literally check in like a year later. Hey, how's it going?
Yeah,
that was like the first agent out of like hundreds. I mean, most agents don't even pick up the phone. I mean, that's one way to do it. I mean, just pick up the phone. And a big thing that I've learned is just like availability. The best ability is availability. Yeah, just showing up. So I'll talk to you about one of my failures. So after college, I said, all right, I wanted to, after dropping out, I had all this pressure, all this, bad, like, just energy at bad, like, just, like, all this connotation of me being like, oh, you just did the wrong thing. Like, you messed up really bad because you didn't go to college. And that was, like, the path we gave to you. This is coming from my parents. So I said, one day, I was working at a dead-end job. I said, all right, screw that. I'm going to go ahead. I'm out. I moved to Los Angeles, California.
Oh wow.
I went like I just went the complete opposite. I said, I'm done. I got to get rid of this. So, and again, all of it for the wrong reasons. I said, I'm gonna show you guys. I'm gonna figure my own stuff out. I'm gonna be famous. I'm gonna be rich and all this stuff. So I go there and I'm pursuing. I went to go pursue writing and acting for a point in my life, and. I was still working, but it was for a purpose. I was like, all right, I'm doing this to fund myself to continue what I want to do. And no one's going to tell me that. And it was just so liberating. It was so like an amazing experience. But one of the failures I had when I did that is this fear and this, how do you put it? It's just like this...
Doubt, self-doubt.
This doubt, exactly. So... when I went there, I went to acting school, I went to writing school and all that. And I looked around me and I'm like, wow, these people are great at what they do. There's no way I can be like that. And we go back to consistency and being available. I have all those people as friends. And I failed in Los Angeles. I couldn't make it work. Like I was working 2 jobs. It was just the rent was going up. I completely failed. There was a point I was homeless, and I say that because I came back, and even though my family like really like hated me for doing that, they still took me in. I realized like, wow, like that's what true love is. That's like that's family. They never judge you and stuff like that. So at this point I never like judge people for anything they've done. Yeah. But back to those people that I was intimidated of. I had them on Facebook, and I look at them and they all quit writing and acting. And the one person that's still there, he was the worst person that sucked at it, like worse than me. Like, and I was just starting out. I was like, man, this guy's terrible. He'll never make it. I was like, these guys are in the room. They're so much better. And he's still at it, and he was still there, and he's doing great because he stuck at it. He showed up, and again, and when my brother told me that, it all clicked. It's like the best ability is availability. Like, it's very hard to go to the gym and not pick up a weight. Just show up. And a good person once told me this. He told me, like, it's all about your habits. Your habits is what makes the person. And, you know, first believing you can be that person, and just setting up the very smallest things to sort of trick your mind into be like, oh, we're just going to do that. And that compounds into something like so much greater. And slowly you'll realize you've become that person through, like, what is it, immersion or something like that. Something scientific.
Yeah, it's like immersion, repetition. It's literally like the atomic habits.
Well, I was gonna say, they say, show me your habits and I'll show you your future.
Okay.
Right. I
Or
think
show
that
me
might
your
be
friends,
from.
I'll show you your future.
Probably.
Show me the people, your friends. I'll show you your future.
That's actually really good. Show me your habits. I'll show you your future. Right.
Yeah, I think I don't think I made that up, but if I did, let's make sure.
Yeah.
Then I'll
Copyright
it,
That's
right?
the name of your
T-shirt.
book.
The name of my book.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Marinate on it.
I'll marinate on naming my
Marinate on
book.
Food tastes good when it's marinated.
Yeah, that's true.
And Andrew wrote his first ebook 2 weeks ago.
You wrote an ebook?
Yeah. It was what was the title?
Yeah, we assisted him with this. It's part of his brand and website. It's I'm Done with Landlording.
Yeah.
It's all the ways to creatively liquidate a property. It's to get people to give him authority and give value before he just cold makes an offer to somebody.
Okay.
Establishes him as authority. Yeah.
So a lot of the people that are in this business, they are kind of funneling them down to this, hey, sell me the house. Just sell me the house. So there's lots of times where, like, you'll meet with people and they're like, well, I want this number up here. That's how much I want. And you're offering me here. So, I mean, there's ways you could go around. You could list the house depending on the time frame they need, and just really having a conversation with them to just build trust and just let them know, like, hey, your price that you're asking for is so unrealistic, and here's why. And just trying to, like, let them understand that if they decide to go that route, then, it would create all these consequences as a result. So, but most people that they would just funnel it like to, hey, like just sell me your house, and, like, what if you want to keep your house?
Right.
What if you want to take that house and, like, use that money for something else? Like, that's a whole consultation in and of itself, and really understanding, like, what they truly need. So many people, like,
which is different than a lot of consultants, which is kind of like, we buy houses, like, let me buy it from you, which sounds like you're offering other options to work with them.
Yeah, a 14-day cash offer is meaningless to somebody who is not on a strict time frame, but rather wants liquidity and wants a zero hassle process. And that's how Andrew approaches it, is exactly that way. And that's how we, as marketers, we tell people in pretty much any industry, approach it that way. Don't shove everything into one box.
Exactly.
Create the another friend and real estate person. She's a marketer. She does everything. Investor Sharon Mancini. She's got the three option exit. So check her out. And it's basically that. It's list it, innovation, or lease to buy. She's got it. I think it's like 5 options now, but
yeah.
Fuck it, throw in a 6th, and then you'll be up top.
Yep.
Okay, all right.
That's all you need to beat is 5 options.
That's it. And put your signature on it, or do 4. Scale back, do 4. I don't know. Do whatever you want.
Scale up.
There's no competition in the field. It's really,
when you niche down enough, there is no competition.
There is no competition.
There's only referrals.
And there's so many different reasons why someone may sign up for you, and it can be fear-based, it could be, like, abundance-based, but it's really just, do I generally care about this person, or do I think they have my best interests at heart?
Yeah.
And when you really just go in there and not, like, be this, I really need this deal, like, it comes back to, like, attachment and just, like, what's called unattachment to things. that's a whole nother topic in itself.
It sounds like the Jedi Code.
Right. So it's like, you ever notice like whatever you don't want, you get? Or like if you say you don't want something, it like attracts to you? Like, I'm still trying to understand that, but...
You can't always get what you want, but you might just find you get what you need.
Exactly.
We're killing it with the quotes today.
Mick Jagger lyrics, yeah.
Right.
We should write our own ebook of just reused quotes.
Quote book,
of like quotes
yeah.
that people already said, but we like change them just a little bit.
Like Michael Scott, like you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. Wayne Gretzky, Michael Scott.
Right.
You just put false attributions on it.
Yes.
We would do it.
But so what would you say to someone right now who's young and they have parents doing potentially the same thing was put onto you? So, you have an 18-year-old whose parents are being like, college. This person may want to be an artist or this. Would you encourage somebody to follow a college path, to fall back on something? Or would you encourage them to do what you did, even though it was hard and you ended up homeless at one point?
Right, but it really depends. So I would tell somebody if they were young to just test out what you're doing. Like if you wanted to be like an entrepreneur, if you want to be an artist, like there shouldn't be anything stopping you from doing that. If that's something you truly want to do, like a job, a college, it won't stop you. It's being consistent at it and showing up is what's important. So honestly, if you truly want to do something and you're giving yourself excuses of like, oh, this is in the way, that's in the way, then that's something you probably really don't want. Like the people that are like doing it, they do it no matter what. They do it like at night, and like if they enjoy doing it. Even like, and I'm not saying you're not going to enjoy the whole entire process, but you're gonna go through it because that's your passion, And if you say you want to be an artist, it's like, okay, but like, it's mainly a hobby. But when you say like, hey, like if it turns into a business and it's helping other people and there's proof, usually parents want to see proof that you can support yourself, you can do it. And my dad would always say, and he was right. He said, survive first. All right, you have to survive because that's how you have to do it.
Yeah,
and the dream is like, or like Gary Vee would say like, you're 9 to 5, like whatever you do 9 to 5 shouldn't stop you from the 9 to 10 or like 5 to 10, something like that.
That's Jess's homie,
right?
Gary Vee.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he curses, he could easily be canceled.
Unfiltered,
Right.
So do you have any regrets about not finishing school, or any regrets on how you implemented things, or what would you have done different with even with LA? What would you have done different to potentially, at the very least, even if you had to come back home, not be in a situation where you didn't have anywhere to go across the country?
Just keep at it and just remind myself like this is really what I'm doing. Like, you ever watch Forrest Gump?
Yeah.
Remember that scene where they said, "All right, we're gonna be in the shrimp business," right? So they get in the shrimp boat, and like they weren't catching nothing, and all these other boats were around them, and they were catching so much. And then one day a storm comes in and wipes everything out, but they were the only ones that were there.
Still went.
They were still available. That still kept them doing it. If you have that mentality, it's like, and just enjoying each moment and stop worrying about like the outcome. That's what I would do. It's just focus on it. Just enjoy. Like I'm in this stage of my life. I am a beginner. I am working on it. And like embrace that and stop trying to be something you're not, or be like act like you're up here when you're really here. What was it? It's like all hat, no cattle.
Fake it till you make it.
Yeah. And there's the thing. I used to believe like, oh, you have to fake it till you make it. And like that's all these fixed sites was like. No, just be it.
Hone it till you own it.
Yeah,
hone it till you own it.
That might be an original for me. I'm not sure.
Hone it till you own it.
Check on that one.
But that's what I would do. I would just stick at it and don't look at like the money and the fame and all that. That's all byproducts of you focusing on something. Like you think of Michael Jordan, or you think of basketball, you think of Michael Jordan, you think of golf, you think of Tiger Woods. that's because someone like took a little, like instead of going wide and doing all these other things and saying like, oh, I'm gonna keep trusting, go, like no, just go deep.
On their one thing.
Go deep, and like you'll think like when someone thinks of an issue they're having, they're gonna think of you.
Yeah,
That's what I would do.
I don't know. Michael Jordan. I don't know. I might think of Kobe. R.I.P. You know.
Kobe, you get the point.
Well, friends, shoot the J, and let's see how high you can kick. That's how we end the show. We do a high kick.
Oh, we're ending?
Oh, high kick?
High kick. Yeah. Just kind of kick up. That's it.
Oh.
There it is.
You're doing your best, and some days it's a mess, but you're showing up still, so we're very impressed. Feeling the pressure, yeah, we relate. It's okay to not be okay. Minding our business, let's talk it out. Jess and Jonesy know what it's all about, from burnouts and doubts to boundaries that stick.